Hello everyone, this is just a quick video to answer some of the questions that we got in our video entitled Got Questions. Little did I know people actually would have questions. This is going to be 3 specific things. In fact, we're making this because someone is having problems with their water filter, and I want to kind of go a little bit in depth into ours. So today we're actually going to cover 3 things that people have asked questions about. One involves the actual door dinger, if you leave the door open and does it actually sound an alarm. The other is related to the wheels and how well it rolls. And then the third one is one that is the reason we're creating this today, is that someone's having problems with the water filter, and I wanted to go a little bit more in depth on ours, kind of show you what it looks like, just in case it might be something visual for the way ours works. That might be give some information on what's going on there. So let's dive into that stuff. So first, we kind of gave the response in the comments, but I kind of want to just kind of go a little bit deeper. So basically, there are big, fairly wide plastic roller feet on the fridge. And as long as your floor is a very hard surface, it seems to not have any problems pulling it out. It's kind of hard, like I can't just do it like a one-handed thing and pull here and show it, because, you know, really the only way you can kind of do it is to just grab it by the sides and pull. But you know, once you get past the initial friction, you know, once you get it rolling, it
goes pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of, it seems to roll, to me, fairly easy. Like, it doesn't take a lot of force. Now, a lot of it is going to depend upon the surface. Our first house had a linoleum material that was designed not to need to be glued down. The stuff that's in this house here requires glue. So it's basically glued under the entire surface. It's a very hard material, very hard surface. Our first house had a linoleum that only glued down on the corners, and the material was very squishy and soft. And every fridge, everything that you sat on that floor would squish and basically mire down into that linoleum at the other house, and just, you couldn't get anything out. So it was more a thing of the linoleum itself than the fridge. But overall, flooring. Yes, the flooring itself. The rollers here, I've had no problem rolling it out. The caveat being that we do have a nice hard surface for it to roll on top of. So in order to show the filter, I got to open the door anyway. So what we're going to do is actually set a timer for 5 minutes, which is what I believe the door alarms are set to. So we're going to set a timer, open the door, and while we show the other thing, we'll see if in 5 minutes it goes off like I believe it is supposed to.
Okay.
So as you see, we do have the door open thing has lit, so it recognizes that the door is open. So in theory, 5 minutes from now, it should start beeping. So the water filter here, there's a few things, and I will go ahead and pre-apologize if some of this is of course I tried that, because without having your hands on it, it's kind of hard to just guess at what may be going on. So I'm mainly going to try to show you exactly what ours looks like, to see if maybe something related to that could be what's going on. So let's pop this thing open.
I heard a snap. So
just to go over the model number, so ours is the Everydrop ice and water filter. It actually is the Whirlpool branded filter. This is the overall thing of kind of a complete picture of what ours looks like. There's not a lot, some of the few things I can think of. I know it comes with plastic caps on the end that have to be pulled off. From the sounds of what this person is saying, it sounds like, yeah, their caps are off. This is basically what ours looks like on the end, the 2 end pieces. We've got our rubber gaskets. The caps have been removed, so you can see the channels on there. Other than that, it's just 2 round things. One thing I could have thought about is there is this little tab right here that actually goes into a recessed point in there. So you can kind of see in the back up at the very top, there's a little pin place where that pin needs to slide into. So I don't know if maybe your pin could have gotten bent in shipping. It might be a good idea to make sure that that pin looks like it's good and everything there. See if I can get the kind of light to really shine up in there. Just kind of really show around what ours looks like on the inside, just in case something looks out of whack. But this is kind of completely what our filter looks like on the inside. So yeah, you can't install it upside down, so that shouldn't be a problem. So that little pin will stop it from going in. If I try to put it in, it's got a little arrow, so if I try to put it in upside down, that's as far as it goes. I think the little piece at the bottom actually hits. So if it's upside down, you can't do it that way. It doesn't sound like that's what they're getting either. But basically, when I push it in and just kind of seat it before the door, this is how far mine goes in before pushing anything in. So that's how far it makes it. And then I'm able to go ahead and push, and it starts pushing the door down itself. And then, like right there is where it just, that's how far before it finally kind of touches the back of my filter. And then it does take a little bit of force near the end, but it does just click in. Now I know they said theirs is working perfectly fine with the filter removed, which makes it sound like, of all the things I could think of, that pin being damaged or somehow not going in its hole correctly, or maybe even these not going into the hole correctly, are the two things that kind of jump out as being
potential problems.
The filter, shoot, I've seen all kind of weird things in my years. Like I've seen filters labeled one thing, but then you look at, wait a minute, that's not the right filter. Like manufacturing defects, manufacturing labeling problems. The only thing that kind of pops out into my head possibly would be the wrong filter, a damaged piece on these three pieces of the filter.
Or a damaged part in the...
It's always possible. It's bad fridge from the manufacturer. There may be a manufacturing defect from there. There's not a lot of pieces on here. We've got this little piece right here, piece right there. So that's the bottom side. On the top, there's these little notches right here. And other than that, it's just a round cylinder. So just those two things on the bottom, that on the top, two here, there's the pin. Hopefully, maybe visually something here looks different maybe than what you've got, so maybe you can kind of pick up on something being a problem. Knock on wood, ours has not given us any issues.
Well, it's not giving him issues. I've had trouble. But...
yeah, like I said, because I can get this far, and it's a little bit of force, but right.
Oh!
So yes, the 5-minute timer for the door does work. But apparently stops on its own.
That's weird. It only
that's kind of
did
weird.
it like 3 or 4 times.
Maybe it does it every 5 minutes. So if I leave it open longer, it'll actually do it like every 5 minutes. That is kind of weird.
Anyway, it did it and it wasn't very loud.
Yeah, like that could be very easy to miss. I'm kind of surprised it doesn't keep going until you turn it off.
Till you close the door.
Yeah.
Bye, fridge.
But it was exactly 5 minutes, cause
yes. Okay, let's.
So yeah, hopefully that might show something. You might pick something up that looked a little bit different between ours and yours. There's not a lot of moving parts in there. Really, it's just the 3 holes that something has to go into, the 2 pieces of the water filter, and then the little pin that helps line everything up. The little pieces on the top for lining it up as it slides into the track mechanism inside the filter housing. Other than that, it just closes, it just works. So I don't know. Honestly, either something is with that filter may be wrong, or there's actually a defect in the
casing,
the fridge itself. Like, yeah, the casing of it maybe actually have a defect in it. And that is one downside of the filters just coming in the fridge and not already installed. And I know why they don't pre-install them, but I guess that's the one downside is they don't get to plug it in and see if there is a defect. So there could actually be a defect in it, or maybe it's a defect with that filter itself. I'd hate to say blow money buying a new filter, but if it's Lowe's, they probably sell them, and they do have a very good, easy return policy. It might be worth trying a separate filter and then just return it if it's a problem. But if it is that filter, another filter may actually give you a quick way of finding out if that's the problem, and then you know that's all it is, not the fridge itself. But hopefully that gives you some value. That's really all I have. Ours has just worked, so I haven't had any problems that I've had to diagnose. So, but again, thank you everyone for the questions. I hope I've given you some value out of that. And anything else that pops up, feel free to add it. I'm happy to show off our empty fridge any day. We definitely need to go to the grocery store.
We do.
Not like anything's in stock. Like, what's up with the premium crackers? Y'all get back to work.
We want the half crackers.
I want my half packs. Thanks everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.